Look at your LinkedIn profile. 3 years in marketing, then software engineering, then teaching abroad, now getting certified in data analytics. You probably feel like a professional disaster. Everyone else climbed one ladder while you kept switching buildings. Your parents ask when you'll settle down. Career counselors tell you to pick a lane. You use the phrase, "jack of all trades, master of none," like it's a confession at a support group. But there's research that completely flips this shame on its head. What you're building isn't chaos. It's what workplace experts now call M-shaped intelligence. 2 deep specializations connected by strategic thinking. And in a world where single-track careers are becoming obsolete faster than you realize, your inability to commit might be the most valuable wiring you possess. Business consultants identified this pattern studying high performers. They weren't T-shaped anymore, one expertise with general knowledge. They had multiple pillars of deep competence. The letter M captures it perfectly. 2 vertical lines representing distinct specializations, the connecting bridge representing your ability to synthesize across domains. Researchers at companies like Portera found that M-shaped consultants accomplished 30% more work than traditional specialists because they could see problems from multiple expert angles simultaneously. If this is already clicking, subscribe to Mindset Wiring and drop a comment with where you're listening from. Here's what changes everything. Michael Simmons researched the most impactful scientists in history and found that 15 out of 20 were polymaths, not specialists, people who worked across multiple fields. Nobel Prize winners are 25 times more likely to engage in arts like music, painting, or theater than average scientists. The pattern repeats everywhere you look. Elon Musk didn't succeed because he mastered one thing. He combined physics, engineering, programming, design, and business into configurations nobody else could build. Skill stacking. Research published by career development experts shows that being top 25% in 3 different domains creates more career value than being top 5% in one. The math is simple but profound. If you're decent at design, understand basic programming, and know business strategy, you become irreplaceable in roles where those 3 intersect. The specialist designer loses to you because they can't code. The programmer loses because they don't understand visual thinking. You're not competing in their lanes. You created a new lane where competition doesn't exist. Robert Root Bernstein studied this phenomenon and named it combinatorial creativity. The ability to pull concepts from completely unrelated fields and merge them into breakthrough innovations. Psychology discovered sociobiology by combining 2 separate disciplines. Steve Jobs fused design with technology. These weren't accidents. They were M-shaped thinkers, operating exactly how their brains were built to work. But here's the part nobody tells you about M-shaped intelligence. You cannot build both pillars of the M simultaneously. If you try learning data science, launching a business, writing a novel, and getting fluent in Portuguese in the same quarter, your system collapses. Burnout isn't a risk. It's guaranteed. Research on polymath career paths reveals something called serial mastery. You work in seasons. 3 years deep on music and art, then pivot to programming to pay bills. You didn't quit art. You finished that construction phase. Psychology researcher Jen Medellin studied M-shaped professionals and found they excel as idea generators who sketch vision on blank pages, then hand execution to T-shaped builders who fill in details. Some people's genius is initiation. Others excel at completion. Knowing which one you are changes everything. So, what do you actually do with M-shaped intelligence? First, identify one pillar that funds your life reliably. Maybe that's consulting, teaching, or development work. Protect that pillar. Get efficient enough to work 30 hours instead of 60. Guard your energy like it's the last resource on Earth. Then, use remaining bandwidth to build the second pillar, the writing, the side business, the creative project. Don't try monetizing everything immediately. Research on portfolio careers shows M-shaped professionals play 10-year games. Each pillar takes years to construct. But when both are standing, you have professional architecture that cannot be replicated, outsourced, or automated. Studies on 21st century workforce needs prove that complex problems require multidisciplinary thinking. Healthcare needs people who understand medicine and technology. Education needs individuals who know pedagogy and business. Climate solutions demand people fluent in science and policy. These problems cannot be solved by specialists trapped in single domains. They need M-shaped thinkers who translate between worlds. Stop apologizing when your resume needs 3 sentences to explain. Those weren't career mistakes. Those were semesters building intelligence the market desperately needs, but doesn't know how to recognize yet. You're not failing to specialize. You're succeeding at something the industrial era couldn't comprehend, but the future absolutely demands. Drop a comment sharing which pillars you're constructing right now, and subscribe to Mindset Wiring for psychology that validates unconventional paths. You're not lost. You're building something most people can't see until it's finished.